When will the war of Armageddon come? I saw and look, a great crowd, which no man was able to number, out of all nations and tribes and peoples and tongues, come out of the great tribulation. Revelation 7, 9 and 14. The stage is now set for the war of Armageddon. How so? Already there exists a worldwide association of people who serve Jehovah and live by the Bible's elevated moral standards. With God's backing, millions from all nations, tribes, and tongues are gathering together to form a harmonious, loving brotherhood. That brotherhood exists among Jehovah's Witnesses. Soon, Satan will gather his armies and launch what will be his greatest assault on these peaceable and seemingly defenseless people. How can you be sure of that fact? The Bible describes specific events that help us to know when the Battle of Armageddon will come. Many of the events it identifies are already being fulfilled. Events you are seeing fulfilled. Jesus' disciples asked him how people would know when the conclusion of the system of things was at hand. Matthew 24:3. Jesus answered by pointing forward to a period when, as he said, nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be food shortages and earthquakes in one place after another. He then said, all these things are a beginning of pangs of distress. Matthew 24, 7 and 8. The Apostle Paul described this same period as the last days, saying that those days would be critical times hard to deal with. 2 Timothy 3, 1. Does it seem to you that those prophecies describe events happening today? Why would this period be so difficult? The Apostle John gives the reason. He foretold that there would be a short period of time in which the activity of Satan and his demons would be confined to the earth. Satan is described as having great anger during this time. Revelation 12, 7 through 12. Do you sense that there is a spirit of anger and violence among people today, not just in one location, but globally? Jesus also said that during this time of great difficulty, an extraordinary work would be accomplished. This good news of God's kingdom, he said, will be preached in all the inhabited earth for a witness to all the nations, and then the end will come. Matthew 24:14. Today, in more than 235 lands, Jehovah's Witnesses are preaching the good news of God's kingdom in more than 500 languages. The two Bible-based journals they produce, The Watchtower and Awake, are by far the world's most widely distributed magazines. The Witnesses have also translated the Bible into some 100 languages. Their work is performed by volunteers and funded entirely by voluntary donations. Could this remarkable preaching campaign be a fulfillment of Jesus' prophecy? The Bible also outlines the events that will lead directly to war between Jehovah God and those who oppose him. Consider 3 such prophecies you will see fulfilled. Events you are soon to see happen. Prophecy 1. The Bible says that the nations will issue a significant declaration of peace and security. 1 Thessalonians 5, 1 through 3. They may think that they are on the cusp of solving major problems. However, the events that follow this statement will be anything but peaceful. Prophecy 2. Next, various governments will decide to move against the world's religious organizations. In the Bible, these governments are symbolized by a wild beast, and the world's false religions by a woman who rides the back of the beast. The symbolic beast will unwittingly do God's bidding by destroying religions that falsely claim to represent God. In symbols, the Apostle John describes the drama this way: the 10 horns that you saw, and the wild beast, these will hate the harlot and will make her devastated and naked, and will eat up her fleshy parts and will completely burn her with fire. For God put it into their hearts to carry out his thought. Revelation 17, 16 and 17. Prophecy 3. Following this successful attack on false religion, Satan will marshal the nations for an assault on those who worship Jehovah God. How will you be affected? If you have not had the opportunity to study the Bible closely, you may find it difficult to believe that the events described will occur. But there is good reason to trust that every detail will be fulfilled and that these events will take place in the near future. The long record of Bible prophecies that have already been fulfilled provides that assurance. Why not set aside some time to find out why Jehovah's Witnesses are convinced that the war of the great day of God the Almighty is close at hand, and why you do not have to be afraid of it? Revelation 16:14. Have them discuss with you what the Bible says you must do to be among those whom Jehovah God protects. What you learn may change your view of the future. End of article.